Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ingwe Immigrations Live, May 25th, 2021. We're here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and we're here for another session of answering your immigration-related questions. Feel free to post your questions on the Instagram or Facebook or YouTube comment section, and we'd love to answer you live. Okay, we're here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. Standard Eastern Time. So we're going to jump into a few questions that some of our applicants have emailed us previously. One was regarding spousal sponsorship and common law relationships in terms of the work permits. So one of the key points to note in a sponsorship of a spouse is that when you apply and they're inside of the country, they need to validate their status. That means they need to maintain status inside of the country. They can be out of status too, but if they currently have status, they need to renew it until the application is approved. Another key point is that when you do sponsor your spouse from inside of Canada, if you're Canadian and you're sponsoring your spouse, you have to prove cohabitation. That means you're living together from that date of application. You cannot be living apart on the date of your application. So those are two things that are typically misconceived. Let's jump into another topic, international students. So we have a lot of our applicants asking whether there's a difference if they go to a college in Toronto or a college in another province and they pay different prices. As long as they're public colleges and they have a designated learning institution number, it does not matter. So Immigration Canada does not actually differentiate whether you went to U of T and did a 1-year postgraduate certificate, or you went to, I don't know, St. Clair College or any other college anywhere else in Canada. As long as it's a public college, it has a designated learning institution number, there is no difference for immigration. Okay, so this is a big misconception many people have, is that the school you go to matters in immigration. No, the program does, not the school. So we have a question on our Instagram from Divansh. What's it? Divansh. I hope I pronounce it right. He says, "Hello, sir. Is there any possibility of international student stream again? If yes, when?" So basically, Divansh is asking whether the new TR to PR pathway that closed for English applicants under the international student stream on May 6th will reopen. There is a chance. There's several possibilities. One is it could be a new limit would be created and it would reopen. Another one would be a different variation of the program would be created by end of this year, but I assume it would be very close to this program. First, they have to process the applicants that have submitted it on May 6th and May 7th, because on May 7th, it closed at noon. When they have a good idea of what percentage are refused or returned, then they'll be able to understand whether they need to reopen the program or not. There is a chance, but there's no guarantee. So if you're just joining us now, everybody, post your immigration-related questions here on the comment section, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. And we're here to answer your questions, basically live, as many questions as possible. Okay, we're here every Tuesday, and as you know, we're a licensed immigration firm here in Canada. In case you've been receiving late replies on our Instagram in the messages, we've just been a little bit busy today, but we will respond to you if you've messaged us ASAP in the next 24 hours. So don't worry about that. Another key point that we had discussed earlier today was regarding remote studies, so distance learning. So in express entry, you cannot claim distance learning for bonus points for Canadian education. You can claim it for education in general, but not as Canadian education, because you do receive either 15 or 30 points if you have studied in Canada at a designated learning institution. But if you've done distance learning, so this means you were in your home country during COVID and you were studying online, you will not receive bonus points under express entry. So this was something that this morning we were discussing with a lot of our colleagues. And as everybody knows, you had 397 points in the last express entry on May 20th last week under the Canadian Experience class. So there's a lot of viewers out there who are asking, well, I don't have any Canadian experience. How can I be eligible under express entry? We don't believe that they will come this year and have a draw where they're inviting applicants from outside of the country due to COVID. But if you do come here as a worker or international student, you have the opportunity to be able to gain Canadian work experience by working inside of Canada. So this is what most people do, is they come here through college, through university, and they basically receive a work permit after graduation if they've successfully graduated, maintained their full-time status, and it is a public college. So a lot of our viewers are always asking, if I go to a private college, which is much cheaper, what can I do afterwards? Well, you can't do much. You can either convert to a visitor, stay as a visitor temporarily, transfer to a public college or university to continue your education here, but eligible for a work permit after you graduate from the public college or university, or you have an employer sponsor you. In Canada, through a labor market impact assessment, okay, or under the global talent stream or one of the other streams, and you will be able to apply for a work permit from inside of Canada while you're graduating or when you graduated from the private college, okay? Another key point is many people believe that you need an IELTS or TOEFL or TEF or TCF to apply and get admitted to a college or university in Canada. You can come through pathway. You do not need to take the exams. If you can take the exams, great. IELTS, not everybody's comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it. I'll probably get a very low score. But if you're overseas and you're looking at coming to a college or university anywhere in Canada, it doesn't matter. You would be able to do a pathway program. So that means one of the English schools that is partnered with that school will allow you to start studying English and reaching a certain level before you can transfer directly to that academic program at the university or college without taking the IELTS or TOEFL or the French exams. Okay, so this is a big part of international education in Canada. Okay, and it doesn't matter. We have a lot of our viewers and followers asking, what if I have 4 kids? What if I have, I'm coming with my husband or my wife or partner, we have 2 kids, we have 10 kids. It really doesn't matter. The point is that your education gap should not be big. You should go through a pathway program or have an IELTS ready already or TOEFL, and have the financial resources to pay for the international tuition. And how much is international tuition? Well, it can range anywhere from $9,500 to $25,000 for master's program, and even higher. If you go to UBC in Vancouver or University of Toronto, for a bachelor's program, you could be paying $40,000 plus a year. But that's exceptional. That's like going and buying a Ferrari. Not everybody wants a Ferrari or can afford a Ferrari, right? So maybe you're just like me and you drive a Volkswagen, right? So that's the price range, right? You can pay $9,500 plus to $20,000, $15,000. Colleges are usually $9,500 to $17,000 unless you're going to specific healthcare or bridging programs for nurses, which are typically more expensive. Okay, if you ever have any questions or comments or need help with school admission, we'd be happy to help. Obviously, our team here helps with study plans, study permits, admissions, deferrals, the works. And again, today there doesn't seem to be a lot of questions on our comments. So it's easier for me because I can just blab on all day of whatever I want. But if you do have questions, please let me know. It seems to be quiet. There's no real programs right now where everybody's excited. TR to PR pathway. I think the people who have applied, they're waiting for a response like feedback or eligibility completion confirmation that basically their file is under process, or people who have not applied, they're waiting for the new programs to open, or maybe more opportunities towards the end of this year as international graduates or temporary foreign workers inside of Canada. So basically, everybody, in case you've joined us, post your questions, any question. There's no question that is you should know the answer to, or everybody knows. There's no right answer, right? I mean, everybody's case is different. So if somebody's asking about working or studying in Canada or sponsoring or coming through business immigration, your case could be different. So their question is completely different based on their profile. So we have one of our most favorite viewers asking us a question saying, how easy is it for someone at late 30s to get an admission for master's degrees in Canada? If you can get the admission from the school, it's not a problem. The school will not look at your age. They will look at your professional experience for a master's. They will look at your GPA. A GPA is basically the average of your marks or your grades from your bachelor's degree, right? You need an undergraduate degree, and they will look at your resume, what gap you've had since your education, and what your professional experience is. Because if you want to do, IT masters and you don't have any work experience and you have a very general undergraduate degree, then it could be difficult. But they will not look at your age specifically. Okay, so going back to that question, if somebody's in their late 30s or early 30s and they're looking to get an admission at a master's program with a university in Canada, we can definitely help. And it doesn't matter if you're 30s or in your 40s. The important thing is can you show proof that, what is it? Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm just talking to my colleague here. You have to prove that you can afford it, and you have the grades to get the admission, and of course the language. We do have partners that will be able to do pathway for master's programs. Okay, so folks, don't worry, that's not a waterfall in the background. That's just our kitchen faucet. But yeah, master's program for any age and for any type of ability is possible. We'd have to look at your profile in detail and make sure you have the eligibility. But whether it's age or not is not an important issue. And again, we're here every Tuesday, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Today was a little bit quiet, so we're going to probably end this session much sooner than we typically do. Next week, we're going to have some guest speakers on our Tuesday, 9 a.m., 5 p.m. live sessions where we're going to interact with our viewers and answer a lot of your questions and talk about international students, both outside and inside of Canada, work permits, and the difference with Atlantic Immigration Pilot, right? Why would somebody go there? What is the advantage of studying in the Atlantic? So that's something we're going to discuss next week. And remember, everybody, we're here every Tuesday to answer your questions. Thanks, and we will see you soon, okay? All these live sessions will be available on our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. To view all the recordings will be available online. Thank you to everybody, and we'll see you next Tuesday again. Cheers, everybody. We're just gonna shut off everything here, and goodbye.